Evening, gang, and welcome to Tuesday night. Not Tuesday night live. I thought it was Tuesday night live for a moment then. Yes, gang, it's the Sunday chat show, United Kingdom Talk. Welcome along to our little show this evening. On Watchbit, it's a little bit of a disaster in the studio this evening. First of all, the big clock that was up there, right? Big clock that was up there. I noticed I had to reset the time, and so I resetted it. But to get it bang on, I took the battery out. To get the seconds started. So I'm looking at my studio clock, which you can't see, which is right in front of me there. I'm looking at my studio clock, and it tells me the second hand coming along like that, right? And then I push the battery in, and it's not moving. So I put the battery in the right way round. I took it round the other way. Nope, still wouldn't move. And I put it back in the other way, it still wouldn't move. So it's now stuck at 5 to 6 and isn't moving. So that was that. So then I quickly run off to another room and got another clock out. This one, right? To put up there. But I didn't quite have it on the hook properly. And it fell off. And the battery dropped out. I put the battery in. It's reset. But it hasn't reset to the correct time. So no clock on the wall tonight. I know probably that's just completely disappointed you this evening. I'm sure there are a lot of people watch this show to have a good look at my clock. I said clock. Pay full attention to what I'm saying, will ya? Dear me, honestly, mine's like sieves, every last one of you. Yes, I know a lot of you do like to enjoy the clock. And at the moment, we just have a few people here. More people come along. Evening, Dylan. I know more people come along as the show goes on. You'll be surprised at how many people don't join in anything but say, where's the clock? And one of them will be George, okay? Usually Vera, but she's already there, okay? So she won't say anything. I'm trying to think who else would say it, but there are certain people who cannot wait to point out something different. They don't join in with any of the other show. That's not you, Vera. You join in with the whole show. But some people, they don't join in with any of the other show. They just find the bits that aren't the same that they were last week and then mention them. Don't ask me why. Okay, it's been a really nice day here. I'm just going to say hello to some of you there this evening. Boots and Beats there, like I say, evening to you. Hello to Martin. It's been a beautiful day where he was as well this evening. Do you know, I haven't finished my tea yet. Yeah. We've got, let's have a look. There's Vera. There's Kevin Woodruff. Evening, Kevin. Evening to Mr. John Dixon. Evening to you, sir. Oh, it's Mark Anthony. Good evening, Mark. How are you? In sunny Portugal or 4 doors down? Where are you today? He's been sending me some of his mixtapes for me to listen to at the gym. Thank you very much. A quick visit. So go on, off you go, Mark. I know you're very busy feeding chickens or something like that. It's been a really, really nice day here today. I got up. I didn't go to the early mass at church today. I went to the 10:30 one. So because the time I got up, it was still like 9 o'clock instead of 8 o'clock. And or was it 8 o'clock instead of 7 o'clock? Sorry. And jumped on my non-hill climbing electric bike, which is just doing my head in now. It's starting to really get to me. It's not like there's a lot of hills round here, but anything more than a slight incline, and it just struggles to get up. It really does. And more about that a little bit later on. And I got into the church. I had a good chat with people, done the mass, and that was it. Did anything happen at church today? Oh, yeah. So I'm playing organ next week, right? And I happened to go in and see Father Danny, and he said, oh, the psalm won't be... There's like... I don't know how to explain this. There's 3 lots of readings and psalms and stuff, right? There's year A, year B, and year C. Then it goes A, B, C. Then it goes... You see? So you do an A, 1 year, then B, then C, and then it goes back to A. That's how it works, right? So we're in year C at the moment. But apparently, the psalm... I wish Shania was there, actually. I don't know if Shania's there, is she? Shania, are you around today? Or Posh Twink Carl? Because you could help with this. At the 10:30 next week, there is a scrutiny, which I'm not... I don't know what it is. I hate to say it, but I'm not quite sure what it's all about. But it means we're going to do the psalm for the 10:30 Mass as a year A instead of year C. Right? And I'm trying to get my head around this during just a normal conversation that we're having, because I popped into his house afterwards, have a chinwag. And I couldn't work it out. Anyway, so I wrote down, he said, well, here's one of the lines that's in the psalm that you should be doing. So he's given me this line. Okay. I said, well, it's a bit complicated. He said, oh, we'll get this app. He said, try and get this app called Universalis, right? So I went on to this app. I said, oh, it's £10. He said, well, I'll give you the 10. I said, I don't want a tenner off you. So I've got this app now. Well, I'm none the wiser. I mean, it is not an easy app to operate, I've found. It really isn't. I don't know what goes on this very, very badly designed app. There's an awful lot of information on it, and that's probably what the problem is. I don't need 3/4 of the information that's on this app, and I can't work it out. Anyway, so I've come back here. I've got my book out, and I'm looking. So I'm looking, year A, 5th Sunday in Lent, Psalm. And I'm looking at the words, and none of these words are matching the line that he gave me. Now, meanwhile, each week for the choir, I make a little video of the hymns that I'm about to do. It's all gone out now. The email, I've got a long email list. It goes out to everyone. Most of them don't bother with it, and then complain that they don't know the hymns. Well, I sent them to you on Sunday. Didn't you have time? Oh, I didn't have time. Oh, well. What can I do? You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him wee in it, can you? Eh? No, you can't. So we're kind of stuck here, and I don't know what to do. They have been sent now the list of hymns with the psalm that is year C, but it's going to be year A. Except I don't know what psalm it is. I'm not quite sure what psalm it is. So I'll have to send him an email, but he's not very good at replying quickly to emails. It probably Saturday night, ready for Sunday morning that I get a reply. Anyway, we'll have to see what happens there. Did I read Martin's one there? Hello, Martin. Yeah, he's had a good day there. It's been a stunning day here, like I say. Really, really nice. In fact, it's Mother's Day, of course. Mother's Day. And it says in the star, we have a subtropical surge. Now, we do like a surge. Any of you out there like a little bit of a surge? I bet you do. The hottest Mother's Day on record. Okay, that's what we've just had today. Now, I think that's pushing it a bit far, innit? It wasn't that hot. Come on. I still had a jumper on. But apparently it says the hottest Mother's Day on record is set to see sizzling temperatures across the UK today, March the 30th, with a subtropical surge making the UK hotter than Greece. Oh, Nana Muscuri. Do you remember her with the hair? Is she the one that did One Day at a Time? One day at a time, sweet Jesus. Ooh, ooh, I'm only human. Anyone remember that one? Of course you do. Do you remember that one? Hello, Fiona. Look who it is. It's my first ever girlfriend, Fiona. Thank God you didn't marry a puff, love. Say hello to Fiona, everyone. It's been nice where she is. She's just been on a holiday. Was it Cyprus? Were you in Cyprus? I think you were in Cyprus, weren't you? Somewhere like that. Do you know, it's funny, Fiona. She says, I'm looking handsome. Not bad for 62, am I, Fiona? You're 61? I think you'll be 61 now, aren't you? 61 or something like that. Yeah. It was Cyprus, was it? Yeah, I've been to Cyprus twice. My niece is married to an RAF bloke, and he got stationed out there for 3 years. And the idea was we'd all go twice a year, except pandemic came along, so I went twice, and that was it. I was over on the RAF place. They actually have little bungalows that you can hire, dirt cheap, cheaper than a hotel. So I hired one of those the second time. The first time I did stay in a lovely hotel in Limassol. Can't remember what the name of it was, but I was treated very well there. Actually, it was a really good, nice place. The only thing is, of course, I didn't have a car at the time because the driving in Cyprus, I've got to tell you, well, that is something else. They only stop at red lights if there's something coming. Otherwise, they just carry on. Best bit about Cyprus, family bakeries. They are everywhere. Everywhere. Have you got a place out there? Have you? To be honest, she's got places all over the place. She's got more houses than me. That is saying something, isn't it? I actually preferred staying at the hotel, funnily enough, but I didn't have a car, and to go and see my niece every day, she was coming out of the RAF place, picking me up, and then dropping me back there, and I'd be with her for the day, and then dropping me back at night so I could have my sleep. The only thing is, I did get attacked on the RAF base by mosquitoes, and the whole of my leg was covered in bites when I got back to the hotel one night. And I rang downstairs and I told him, "You haven't got anything to," because it was too late to go to a chemist or something like that. And the bloke says, "I'll have a look and I'll ring you back." And he rang me back in my room. He said, "I haven't got anything at all. However," he said, "I've got some white vinegar. If I give you some of that and some cotton wool, you can dab that on your leg." So I did. And I think it had a bit of an effect to me. I'm not quite sure if it was that good, but it did seem to work. The only thing is, of course, in the morning, when I pulled back the sheets, all you could smell was vinegar. So I was straight in that shower. Craziness, isn't it? Good evening to Peter Rimington, but Cyprus is a lovely place to visit, and I was disappointed, and so I visited twice. Then we had pandemic, and then that was it, really. You know, lockdown after that, after which they moved back here. You know, disappointing. The lockdown in Cyprus was actually more severe than it was here. You weren't allowed to come out of the RAF camp unless you had a special pass, and you had to show this. I think in there's a Waitrose over there, believe it or not, and you had to show it. I think in supermarkets, from what I remember, something like that. Vera says she saw the video about the mosquito bites. Oh, God blimey, I'm covered in, absolutely covered my leg in mosquito bites. Worst I've ever had it, to be honest. And they're so itchy. They're so itchy. Oh. Very difficult not to scratch, isn't it, eh? Good evening to Nick Reels in Oregon, USA. Evening, Nick. I'm off to the USA again in June, God being well, God willing. I want to go to St. Monica's Church in Santa Monica, and that's the whole purpose for the visit. And where I'm staying just happens to be really close to the Disney as well, as in walking distance. Armia or Armina, something like that. I can't remember what it's called now. Let's just scroll up and say hello to some more of you tonight. Built in Scotland joining us there. Evening to you. Fiona's 60 next Thursday. Are ya? Oh gosh, well, happy birthday, Fiona. Do you know, when I'm in the car, if I've got music on, if a Motown number comes on from the album Last Dance. Do you remember the album Last Dance? Fiona had a party at her house once, or was it Rona? Someone had a party, and I remember the Last Dance album. They just put the whole album on. Whenever I hear that, I think of those little parties we used to have. You know, when I was in the Venture Scouts at the time, weren't I? Happy days, and the gang show, It was good then. It was good back then. Mark Bowles is there. Good evening, Mark. Welcome along to the show, Mark. Hello to you. Oh, let's do the text. Thank you, Mark. Once again, I haven't turned the text on. I'm a devil for doing that now, ain't I? Why do I forget that? It's such an important part of the show as well. The people last week were waiting almost 2 hours to have their text read out. Thank you, Vera. There's Vera texting. Evening to Mark. Please tell me you've had some sort of disaster to cheer me up. Still swinging freely. I had a squirrel chew through one of my solar cables. Not the big ones, you know, just little solar lights that you buy from a shop. Or in my case, the solarcentre.co.uk. They're a bit dearer there. So they come with a small solar panel which you position facing the sun, and another light, and there's a cable that goes from there to there. And I noticed one night, looked out the window, I thought, why is that so dim, that light? That it's never been that dim. All the way through winter, it never went that dim, you know, lack of charge. And I knew straight away, because what I've done is cable thing, and that's broken this week. my cable tacker that I may, many years ago, have stolen from a previous employer. No names mentioned. My cable tacker that I may have stolen from a previous employer many, many years ago has stopped working, boys and girls. When you squeeze... I've got one here, actually. No, this is not the same. Hang on a minute. Just a minute. Where is one now? There we are. And it's a decent one, you see. It's all metal, none of that plastic rubbish. Stop buying plastic stuff. It's crap. Like, everything snaps eventually, doesn't it? Right, it's a bit like this, right? But this is a gun stapler, so staples come out. The cable ones are like round things, and you very carefully position it, click, click, and cables go all the way along. I've had this thing for over 25 years, and yesterday it failed. And what happens? You squeeze the trigger, and it just goes down, and nothing comes out. It's no resistance whatsoever, and you can't fix them. They're all like, what are those things? Not screws. What are they called? Rivets? I think they're all riveted together. So that has broken. So that'll please you, Mark, wouldn't it, eh? That's broken. Anyway, the next morning, because I noticed the light at night, so, well, I'm not going to have a look tonight. I went out the next morning. I knew straight away without even having to investigate. But I looked at the wire, followed it down, and guess what? It's been chewed. Chewed in half. Unfortunately, right, those little solar panels don't chuck out a lot of electricity, so the squirrel probably didn't even get an electric shock, which rather disappointed me, to be honest. Ow, you're so cruel to animals. Well, that's how it is. Don't go chewing my solar cables then, thank you very much. So that is this week's disaster. I hope that's made you much happier today, Mark. All right, my love. Hello to Dean this evening. Good evening, Dean. Welcome along to the show, Dean. Whereabouts are you, sir? Thank you, Dean. Vera's testing the text. It's not a case of testing the text, actually, Vera. It's me remembering to put the damn thing on. It's such an important part of the show for those people that don't want to be in the text box. And Luke in Peterborough says, one day at a time was Lena Martel. I beg your pardon. Of course it was. Wasn't Nana Muscuri from La Gresse. La Gresse. Luke says, are you going to do a little video when you're in California? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. I don't know, really, to be honest. I might do, because that Disney is new to me. I've never been to that one. But certainly in the church, I think I probably will, actually, now that you say that. St. Monica's Church. That is the real reason for the visit, because I've been watching this on YouTube for some time now. In actual fact, let me let you into a secret. I watch and listen to that service when I'm in the gym now on a Sunday night. I find it very, very calming in there, which is not necessarily the thing you want to be while you're on a treadmill doing 200 mile an hour. Well, I don't do 200 mile an hour on a treadmill. Evening to Santa Barbara Rooster, who likes the shirt. This is my last Florida... Well, no, it's not actually. There's one more, but this is the last shirt from this company that I bought these from when I was in Orlando. Nice, aren't they? Eh? As I say, I spent quite a lot of money on shirts, but I got a lot for it. You know, if I'd have spent the money here on the quality of these shirts here, I probably wouldn't have got half of what I got. You know, from a company called Robert... have I got the label? Hang on. Oh, I have. Yeah. Robert Graham. Yeah, Robert Graham. Okay. Robert Graham. That was the name of the company. And you can buy them here. But when you see the prices of them here, like 250 quid, 150 quid, that is nowhere near what I paid for these in the States. All right, I'm glad you like it. Glad you like it there. Yes, evening to Santa Barbara. Mark's in Alicante, in Espagna. Espagna. Sorry, I thought he was in Portugal for some reason. Are you in Portugal? That's your brother, isn't it? Your brother's in Portugal. Of course he is. Hello to CC Media Scratch Cards. Kevin's loving the shirt as well. Thank you very much. Dean is from Surrey. Oh, yes, I know you, Dean. I know who you are. Hello, Dean. Weren't you going to do your own little podcasts at some point? I seem to remember you were going to do something like that. Do you know what I'm going to do today? I'm going to take a risk and open the phone line. I'm going to open the phone line tonight because we are going to be losing this number soon, gang. All right. Unfortunately, Skype is closing, and that's how the number comes, through Skype. Yeah, it's called a Skype phone number, and Skype is closing down, so we are going to lose the phone number. I'm not that bothered about that because it's so rare that people used to call in, so it's not too much of a thing. But it was nice to have it there just in case. For example, tonight I thought, do you know what? I'll open the phone line and see if anything happens there. There's Carl Butler. Carl, are you still there at the moment? He's been out with his mum today. Lovely. Lovely. Carl, I wanted to ask you something, if you're still there. All right? Good. Fiona's gone now. There we go. Not good that she's gone. Chris Williams is joining us there. Good evening, Chris Williams. You haven't been at the karaoke for a while either, have you? Where's you and Matt at the moment, dear? Eh? Where's you and Matt? Anyway, what have we got on the show today? So someone mentioning Carl is there. Carl, can you help me? I don't think you was there at the beginning of the show there. Little bit of a problem with the psalm next week. Now, luckily, I popped in to see Father Danny today after Mass, and we had a bit of a chin wag. We just have a normal chin, like how you do to you. Normal chin wag. And I was saying about this other bloke, Zong is his name, going to do the psalm at the 8:30. He said, "Oh, right, okay, yeah, that'd be fine." I said, "I'm not, it's 100%. He said, "That's fine, just let me know." Okay. He said, the 10:30 Mass, we need to do a different psalm because it's a... And I cannot remember what he was talking about, to be honest with you, Carl. Something about a scrutiny, right? Now, I know there are people coming to have something done on that Mass, a large group. Now, is it a confirmation? I don't think it's communion. I'm not sure what it is. Anyway, so instead of doing Fifth Sunday in Lent, Year C, we've got to do Fifth Sunday in Lent, Year A, because it's something to do with the scrutiny. And he gave me... Oh, have I got it here? Oh, there it is. Look, it's here. He gave me a line from the psalm that we've got to do next week, which says... Hang on. Because I'm a bit confused, to be honest. Mass, Year A, Psalm. So Year A, Fifth Sunday in Lent, right? And the line is, when the Lord brought back the exile of Zion. So I went to my psalm book and I looked at Year A, Fifth Sunday in Lent, and that line isn't in there at all. So I'm not quite sure what to do. Have you any idea what's going on there? As a matter of interest, Carl? Because if you do, I'd love to know. Perhaps we could have a conversation about it either if... a little bit later on, maybe, if you can help me with that, because I'm really not sure. I'm going to have to send him an email and hopefully he'll reply sort of sometime before Sunday. But he has replied before, sort of the night before, by which time it's too late for me to send it out to whoever's going to sing it, and he'll have to do it himself. DIY. We like DIY, don't we, Vera, from Vera's Choice in the morning. Yeah, Dean, I'll be doing podcasts. It's about politics. I'm a Conservative association, but it's local. Excellent. Okay, Dean, well, let us know when you start doing that, won't you? Okay. How are the people on here who voted Labour? Happy now, are you, my loves? All happy now? Paying all these extra taxes? I bet you're pleased, aren't you? Oh, Rachel from accounts. What's she going to take from us next, dear? Shocking. Hello to DJ George Bond. Remember what I said at the beginning of the show, gang? Evening, George. How are you today? Hope you're well. Any questions for us today about anything at all? Feel free. Okay, right, let's go. Can you believe 25 minutes? We haven't done anything on my list yet. Nothing on my list. Here's a question for you. What did you do to survive lockdown 5 years ago? Because we've now gone past the 5-year mark of where we were all supposed to stay indoors and only go out for an hour a day and that sort of thing. Do you remember what you used to do? If you do, why don't you call in and tell me about it? There's a phone line open now, gang. Use it, and it will... Well, I'm going to say use it or lose it. We are losing it. It's going. The phone line is going. Nothing to do with me, okay? Nothing to do with me. Okay, it's just that the company that provides the phone line is closing down, and it's happening, I think, in May. All right, use it or lose it. What did you do 5 years ago during lockdown to keep your head together? How did you survive it? Call in 020 8144 3477 is my number. Oh, there is a phone number jingle, isn't there, somewhere? Hang on. Shall I play it? Shall I play the phone number jingle? Hang on, where is it now? There it is.
Call in now, 020-8144-3477.
There we go. All right, that's a phone number if you want to call in. What did you do to survive lockdown all those years ago? I can't believe it's 5 years. I always remember Boris coming on the telly and he was sitting there making that announcement. I thought, oh my God, this is really serious, you know. How can I have got to, what was I, 57 at the time? 57, 58, 59, 60, 57. I've got to 57 years old. And you kind of get used to things, don't you, being as they are. And suddenly everything was about to change. And it really scared me. Really scared me. What did you do to survive the lockdown? Let us know, okay? Call in 020 8144 3477. You can text in if you prefer. My text number is 07451 287 337. The text number is not the same as the call-in number. The call-in number is on your screen now. If you're on Twitch, you won't be able to see it, I'm afraid. On TikTok, you can't see the phone number. All right, 020 8144 3477. Who wants to guess what I'm laughing at now? I told you, didn't I? Has anyone guessed what I'm laughing at? Oh dear. Luke likes the jingle. Thank you, Luke. Glad you like it. It's a nice little one. Would you like it again, Luke? Here you go.
Call in now, 020-8144-3477.
I'm not going to sit in and beg for phone calls like LBC. I'll just carry on if no one calls in, and that's all right. But I would like to know how you got on during lockdown, my darlings, all right? Good. Luke says your videos helped me a lot in the lockdown. It's funny you should say that, Luke. A lot of people said that to me over a period of time afterwards. You know, you'd bump into people, and because we did the bingo, didn't we? We did bingo. Did we? Was the bingo during lockdown? I can't remember now. No, it wasn't. Bingo was the quizzes. We did the quiz night, isn't it? So we did the normal chat shows, and the quiz night. I can't remember where the bingo was now, because even that is some years ago. I do remember one night we were doing bingo. That's for those of you that haven't been here that long. I used to do a bingo on a Sunday night. I think it was 8 o'clock. And it was some really good software, actually, and which cost a bit of money, that software. And I'd read out numbers, send out tickets, people would join in, people would win prizes. But unfortunately, it didn't really get busy. Same as this show, you know, just didn't get numbers. And it was costing a lot. It was costing about £125 every time I did the show with the prizes and the postage that you had to send out. Because it was all free. It was all free. And I thought, well, it's worth it if it builds. But it didn't. Gradually, it was going down and down and down. So I binned it in the end. You know, I really enjoyed doing it, actually, that bingo. It was a particular night. I was doing the bingo from the caravan. Sorry, the Luxury Waterside Media Centre. And outside was the most terrible storm. Thundering and lightning. I was scared, sitting in my little metal caravan doing the bingo. Who remembers that, eh? Yeah. But some people said with the lockdown, my show's helped, which is always nice to hear. Over the years that I've been doing this, is about 16 or 17 years now. I think we've been doing this with a break of about 2.5 years. Now and again, you've got a little email there from someone who's had a bit of a rough time. I don't know about it. They've never told me. You don't know this, Chris, but I was having a really rough time. And it's really nice to hear people say that you kind of help someone through a bit of a rough time, you know. Anyway, let's see. I'm trying to say... let me just go back. Thank you. Evening to Tommy Hanlon. Evening, Tommy. Welcome to the show. The reading would be year A as the beginning of the church year newborn. Yeah, and the psalm as well, apparently. It's the psalm as well, Carl. Year A. So I don't know if I should just do what's in my book as Year A, Fifth Sunday in Lent, and hope that that's right. I might send him that one and say, look, is this the one? You know? Very, difficult, really. Let me just scroll back a bit and read some of these for you. CC Media uses Skype, but I had to get a SIM for a £5 PM for my WhatsApp number for calls on my PC. Oh, yeah. I mean, I'll be honest with you, Media. I looked around for alternatives, and I note that these things called virtual numbers. I looked at them, and somehow you buy a virtual number, which is not as cheap as what I'm doing now. They're like 10 quid a month, so 120 quid a year gets you a virtual number, and then you delete your WhatsApp, reinstall WhatsApp, but with the new virtual number. Does that sound about right to you? And I think that's somewhere between 5 and 10 quid a month. But the thing is, right, the Skype phone number was 30 quid a month, which is all right. I don't want to be paying £10 a month if no one's going to call in, because that's just pointless. You know, it's just pointless. And I think we're just proving that now. No one bothers calling in, so I don't think I'm going to look for an alternative number after all. There's not much point, really. Actually, the funny thing is, I've heard people on LBC, late night ones sometimes. One bloke, he's got like pages and pages of texts coming, similar to texts that you send in on the text number there, or indeed in a chat box. Same sort of thing. He gets pages of them. Sometimes he's got no phone calls. And I don't think it would have been like that in the sort of 70s or 80s if we could have done this at that time. You know, people wanted to talk to you. Certainly the youngsters, they do not want to talk to you. The only person that ever wants to talk to me is Vera from Vera's Choice in the Morning. Good evening, Vera.
Hello.
Hello, love. All right?
Yes, thank you. And yourself?
All is well on this happy Sunday. I'm a little bit blocked up again today, Vera.
Oh, Lordy.
Yeah, I'm not going properly again today. Oh, it's on and off, on and off, on and off. But there you go. What you got with me, Vera?
Well, in regards to what did I do during lockdown?
Yes.
I was one of the lucky ones. Well, not lucky, but whoever worked in retail just kept working. So I wasn't under house arrest or anything like that.
Right.
I was at work the whole time.
Wow. So you was able to keep your head together and earn proper money.
Yes.
What did people get who was at work? Was it on 2/3 of their salary or something like that, wasn't it?
They got something like that because there were quite a few colleagues that were vulnerable.
Yeah.
And they were signed off for how many months or whatever.
Yeah.
So then it was down to the bare minimum of staff.
Yeah.
And then we were given a bonus for those who worked throughout the whole time of lockdown. We were given a bonus. But, of course, the bonus means nothing to me because the taxman took it.
Oh, come on, you didn't take all of it, Vera.
I got some of it, but not all of it.
You would have got some of it, minus 24%.
No, but if it goes over a certain bracket, because it was about 300 and something pounds they paid.
Right.
Which is over what I'm supposed to be, because my second job my pension is classed as a second job, so I earn more in my pension than I do in Sainsbury's.
Right.
So that took me over the bracket.
Well, you're not into the 40% bracket, are you?
Not quite.
Oh, come on, you can't be. You can't be richer than me, darling. I don't know anyone that's richer than me.
Well, let's just say I do earn a lot more than I earn more than the managers.
Yeah, but the
in
point
Sainsbury's.
is, I'm nowhere near that 40%. I asked my tax man the other day about a new car, so I'm thinking about taking some money out and buying a car out of my pension, which is not a massive. I haven't got a massive pension or anything like that. Is that okay? And he replied back to me, I don't think there's anything you could do to put you into the next tax bracket. So I don't see how you can. You can't. I think you look at it wrong.
Yeah, but then you're just. My tax code is different because it's 2 jobs.
Right.
So they tax me more. They don't take much tax from the BBC pension, but they tax it heavily on the Sainsbury's pension, Sainsbury's wage. That's where I pay more of my taxes. So I pay less tax on the pension, but more on Sainsbury's.
Well, I think
you see what I mean?
You need to see a tax person to explain it to you.
Uh,
I don't know what you're doing with that.
so some next month when my pension goes up again,
Yeah.
then they won't tax me for the first month. They'll be very low tax, but then they'll try and, I don't know, level it out in the next following months
Yeah.
until
Okay.
I'm sorted out.
Oh, well, you was one of the lucky ones. So did you pick up the COVID while you was at work? Did you all have to wear masks and things? Did you have a hazmat suit? There could
I
be a
chose
night for
to wear
hazmat
masks.
suit wearers downstairs, I reckon.
Yeah, I chose to wear masks, which got quite a few colleagues got into verbal arguments with various customers
Right.
because they thought it was hilarious to be coughing and sneezing around us. And one guy decided he wanted to cough near me, and I moved away.
Yeah.
And he felt disgusted by the fact that I moved away. And I said, well, I don't want to catch what you've got.
Absolutely.
Simple as that.
Horrible
And
people, love.
the fact that if I'm stacking shelves on a low level, instead of the customers say, well, excuse me, and I'll move out the way so they can get what they need,
Yeah.
they will lean over me, drape themselves over on top of me. And I'm thinking, how rude is this? All you've got to do is just say, excuse me, and I'll move out the way. I don't know you're there. You can see me because you're behind me.
Yeah.
So it was a constant, and of course, customers having to queue up to get into Sainsbury's. I think it was only 2 people at a time. If you're with somebody, you can have. But then a whole herd of people coming together, which wasn't allowed, and
I'd forgotten all about that. There were only a certain amount of people who could be in the shop at once, wasn't there? That's right.
Yes.
That's right. Me and my mate, we used to go down to Lidl. It was our big night out, Lidl, on a Friday night at like 9 o'clock. And there'd be like me and him and maybe 1 or 2 other people in the old shop down in Crowthorne, which is like a car journey. But it was like, honestly, it was our night out, going to Lidl on a Friday night. How sad is that?
But then I've obviously, when I was off, I didn't want to go to Sainsbury's, my place of work, to do my shopping. So I'd go into Tesco, and I had to queue up. And I didn't like the way Tesco did it because they've got a ground level car park which is undercover, and they made everyone queue up in the car park. And I thought, well, hold on a second. What about all the car fumes we're all inhaling? And you've got babies there, children, inhaling all this car fume. And they couldn't see anything wrong with it. I complained to the head office. I said, this is unacceptable.
Not very pleasant. So it's funny.
It wasn't.
Funny you should mention car fumes. When I've been on, there's very this is not a regular thing. A couple of weeks ago, I went out to do my litter picking. All I could smell was fumes. That weird.
Unusual. Yes, it is.
Yeah, for a very large area, I could just smell petrol fumes everywhere. Not petrol, like the petrol that comes out of a petrol garage. Not that smell. Smell as in it's been burnt and has exhausted from a car. Those sort of fumes. It was horrible.
Must be a very old car on the road.
I don't know. Have you seen a car that's got something wrong with it? The stuff that pours out the back of the car. I've seen that a few times. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
It's like a cloud. And it goes everywhere, this stuff. Highly illegal, I'm sure. One of the car people know all about that, I'm sure.
There's a Morris Minor not far from where I am. I mean, when that gets going, it's a bone shaker down the road.
Do you like a little bit of a bone shaker, do you, Vera, even at your age?
Don't get cute. Don't get cute with me now. You know what will happen to you on Friday.
Thank you for your excellent call. Thank you, Vera.
No problems. Speak
Bye,
to you
love.
soon. Bye.
Bye. There you go. Vera was lucky enough to be working. I actually dumped work very quickly. I was really scared when old Boris came on the telly and started going on about it all. I was very, very scared about it all. Let me have a look. Talking about lockdown there. Paul Adams wasn't in the UK during lockdown. Okay, thank you very much. John Dixon made karaoke videos during lockdown. Is that as in karaoke, you put the words to the music, or you sang and did that? Because I did try and find a way of doing online karaoke, but similar to do it in a pub, as in host and singers. But I just, I couldn't work it out. I think you'd need more equipment to be able to do that. And of course, you'd have to have equipment at the singer's end as well, you know. And I couldn't work out how to do it. I really couldn't. Oh, by the way, Maureen popped into the pub last night. She sung us a couple of nice songs. And she was mentioning that the show today had been advertised for some reason for 5 p.m. I did look as soon as she told me, I looked and I thought, no, that still says 6 p.m. at this end. So that might have been something to do with the clock changing in the American, where YouTube is, and us. And I thought it would match up in the end, but I don't know if anyone else noticed that. Paul Adamson said it was more stern in Holland, you know, the whole lockdown thing there. What else have we got there? We've done the Skype one. Hang on a minute. Bingo Tech is there. Good evening, Bingo Tech. Hello to you. Let's see. CC Media, £5. I'm trying to find what on the subject we're talking about there. Here we go. Jason was on full power. Full pay while on lockdown. Lockdown was a load of tosh. So you didn't agree with it, I suppose? I'm assuming you didn't agree with the whole lockdown thing? I didn't like it. I'll tell you what I did in a minute. John Dixon was working as a security guard during the lockdown. Look at that. People still working there. Is that it? Is that all we've got to say about that? Blimey. Thought you would have had a little bit more to say about that. There we go. Never mind. Well, I must tell you, myself, I'm very lucky where I am in Bracknell. I've got a lovely garden out there. It's not massive, but it's big enough for me. And certainly in the summer, I go out there and I just sit there. I nearly sat out there today, but I ended up watching Casualty on the telly instead. Lockdown for me, I started walking over the forest. And we've got a massive forest here. It's huge. Right? You can't get from like one end to the other quickly. And it covers a very large area. It's called Swinley Forest if you want to look it up on a map or something like that. And every day I would go over there. Every day I would go over the forest. And I started litter picking. That's where it started. I'd be walking around there, you know. There's a can on the floor here. Oh, there's another one there. Why are people dropping litter? I'll bring a carrier bag over. So the next time I brought a carrier bag over, didn't have a litter picker, I just picked it up with my hands and put it in the bag. And very quickly I filled this bag up. I thought, blimey, are people dropping all this stuff over there? Because it had been a long time since I'd been over there. I did go over there a couple of times with a bike. Pfft, that's hard work. God blimey, all these kids with their little bleeding bikes with the knobbly tyres. I'm up there with an ordinary bike. And there's a couple of hills. And some of the hills there have got stones on them. And you're trying to go up a steep, stony hill. Very difficult. Very difficult indeed. So I stopped going over there. And I used to walk over there only a couple of times. But during the pandemic, I started the litter picking. And then it just stuck with me. And I've been doing it ever since. I mean, I did it yesterday. Not over there. Just around the streets here. I picked up four bin bags full of rubbish yesterday. 4. Lot in it. But the forest, I'd be over there every day during lockdown, 3.5 hours. I walked for miles. Couple of times I got caught in the different weather. I remember one day it was really hot and the sunshine. I don't usually take a drink with me when I'm going out walking. But I'd walked a long way and I started to feel a bit faint and I had no drink. Anyway, I did make it back here and immediately had some tea and that when I got here, which is not necessarily the best thing to do if you're a bit dehydrated, but I did. And there was about 2 or 3 occasions where I got caught in rain. And when I say caught, soaked. As I said to you, we've only got pine trees over here. You don't get a lot of protection from rain underneath a pine tree. I remember a few times I'd be out there and it would absolutely bucket down. You know, it's like that weather, you know, when it's cloudy. You think, oh, is that going to rain or not? Well, I won't go too far. Well, you know, an hour and a half into the walk, that's coming away from my house. So I'd walked an hour and a half away and got soaked. And there's no buses, it's a forest. So then you've got to walk soaked an hour and a half back to your house. Not a pleasant experience, but we're still here to live the town, aren't we? So that's how I got on there, Jason says, can't be sat inside when the sun is shining like it is today. No, me neither, mate. I can't do it. George reckons he heard me say about the clock earlier on the show. Yeah, it's sitting down there stuck at 5 to 6 because you should never interfere with stuff that's working just before you're about to do something important like this. Martin works through lockdown. He was an NHS ambulance worker. He then caught COVID and was in hospital, very unwell. Oh, if you was in hospital, you must have been unwell, Martin. I bet that frightened you, didn't it? Took him 6 months to recover and get back to work. I still don't feel 100%. It's definitely took a part of me. Yeah, he feels blessed he's still here and has a job. I know a lot of people, my sister, the whole family up north, none of them had antivirus COVID injections. They just wouldn't have them. My sister will not have any sort of inoculation. She says, my brother-in-law says they're all full of poison and all stuff like that. Mercury and what have you. I have them all. Funnily enough, I've actually got one booked for Thursday this week. I think it's Thursday, isn't it? No, I'm still on March. Hang on, Thursday. Yeah, I got Thursday, 11:05 at the medical place. I've got a COVID injection, the latest one. I have an immune system problem. I've got a little bit of a virus that won't leave me, so I have a pill every morning to keep that subdued. But because of that, I get all these messages to go and get various inoculations and that sort of thing there. Jason's been, Tommy, what's up with the clock? Well, it's stuck at 5 to 6. What happened just before the show? It was slightly out of sync. So I thought, well, I'll just adjust it so the second hand is bang on, because the big clock that's usually behind me is not a radio clock, right? It's just a normal quartz clock. So the second hand gradually moves further and further out of sync, right? And I thought, so I got the second hand to stop at 12, and then I took the battery out. And I'm watching my radio clock, which you can't see, which is right next to me there. And at bang on time, I pushed in the battery and nothing happened. So it's just sitting there now in the corner, stuck at 5 to 6. So I do have a smaller clock that I put up there. And then I put that up, didn't put it on the wall properly, and it fell off, and that battery fell out. Oh, it's working now. And then it got stuck at 12. It resets to 12 o'clock, and then it waits for a radio signal, you see, and then it sets itself. So that's working now. It's reset itself now. So let's see if I don't think it'll go on. Hang on a minute. Oh, there we are. Happy days. It's not as nice as the other one, is it, really? But there we are. Well, I'm a big fan of clocks. It's not the same, is it, that one? Well, I could get like a radio one that with all lights and LEDs, but they're just silly money. A couple of £100 they are. I do like my big one. I'll try and perhaps try another thing in there or something like that. Jason Martin and Sharon are correct and talk a lot of sense. Yeah, they don't have any inoculations at all. Are you one of those people, Jason? Do you not have any inoculations? Mark Bowles, do you like an injection, darling? Do you have them? Do you have them at all? All right. What else have we got here? I was going to tell you. Let me see. By the way, did anyone else go and see Snow White as a matter of interest? Had I done this? Had I seen Snow White this time last week? I don't think I had, because I have been now to see it. Most of you probably would have seen the Snow White video that I did. And I went on. Yeah, it was Monday night. So I haven't done a show since then, have I? So I saw it on Monday night. I have done a little video which is up there with all the rest of them on my YouTube channel, youtube.com/Chris Redden UK. And I thought the film was really good. There was only me and 4 little old dears sitting in the whole cinema. I thoroughly enjoyed the film. And as I sat there and watched the words come at the end, I said, why is this getting such a bad rating? And it's the lead actress, the lady playing Snow White. Nothing to do with her acting. She just mouthed off. Disney would have paid her huge sums of money for that part, I presume. All right? And then she goes and mouths off. Oh, it's 2025 now. It's about a girl empowering women's virtues and all this. What are you going on about it? It's a fairy tale, dear. It's a fairy tale with a happy ending. What are you going on about? There was someone in the chat box, I remember saying, oh, Dopey isn't in it. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. Dopey was in it. And I heard somewhere else, the prince doesn't kiss Snow White. Yes, he does. Yes, he does. Go and watch the film before you comment. The film, I highly recommend it. You want to take your kids there and see it? It's great. Is it woke? I don't think so. I didn't think it was woke at all. Little songs they've made longer, added verses. I thought it was I thought it was a really good film. So do feel free to go and watch it. Did anyone else go and watch that as a matter of interest there? Jason says, I've never had any of that stuff put in me, never will. So he doesn't have injections either. Look at that. Okay. Bish Bash Bosh. Hello to you. Injections don't bother me. Snow White, not interested in that. Thank you very much. I just saw Stu. Stu's there. Hello, Stu. When you do the karaoke, how comes George always sits by the door? Because he wants to. That's it. Because he wants to sit there. That's his seat. Lovely for Paul and Lou to join us. 52 minutes after we started the beginning of the show. Oh, well. Suppose I should be grateful you've bothered turning up at all. Luke, my mum is immune compromised as well. He has the injections, even if my carers don't. There you go. So he does have his injections. Yeah, I've always had those. What was the last film you saw at a cinema, actually? When's the last time you went? Did you just find them too expensive? When I went to see Snow White on that Monday night, it was £8, which I thought was very reasonable. You don't want to go to see a film in London. Don't be silly. 25, 30 quid a bleed ticket? I don't think so, mate. £8 I paid to go and see Snow White on Monday night. I also even had a vanilla ice cream, nearly 4 quid, in a little thing like that. I don't know why I bothered. I didn't really enjoy it. It's just one of those things, isn't it? When you go to the cinema, you've got to have popcorn or vanilla. I have to say, I went to the Odeon. I think the price of the food has come down. It was just getting ridiculous, the amount of the money they were charging for food. You know, a nice little cinema I've been to as well. My favourite one is Woodall Spa. It's a bit antiquated. It smells a little bit of damp in there, but it's a lovely place. The Kinema in the Woods, it's called, in Woodall Spa. If you're ever in Lincolnshire, go and look that up. They've just had some extensions done, and they've got more screens in there now, you know. Paul, last film was recent Mission Impossible. Great film. I haven't seen that one. I like the music, Paul. With that fuse at the bottom, you know, slowly burning away. I'm trying to think what was the last one before Snow White. I can't think now. I do like a night at the cinema. It's better than watching it in the telly, isn't it? Like the James Bond stuff. Star Trek, there's a new film of that coming out soon, isn't there? What was the last film you went to see, gang? Stick it up on the message and let's have a little look there. George, does the battery work with the clock? Is that a film title, George? Is that a film title or something to do with lockdown at all, is it? Something like that? I don't know that film. Does the battery work with the clock? I won't look it up, but I'm sure it's a lovely film that you watched there. Yeah, so £8 I paid. What was the last film you watched? What did you pay to go to the cinema? Or do you just not go to the cinema anymore? I wonder. Hey? It's a shame if you're not going there. Did anyone see the solar eclipse? Oh, honestly. Some of the papers made such a big thing out of that. Oh, the spectacle of a solar eclipse. It was only a tiny bit in the corner. It's not like the solar eclipse. I think it was 1999. Do you remember that? The total solar eclipse. That was good. That was good. I remember I was standing down the end with my lovely neighbour Pearl. Specifically to watch this, and we're standing there watching. We're not looking up at the sky. We're kind of, you know, now and again quick glance like that because you mustn't look at the sun. Very dangerous. And all of a sudden, everything went dark. It was really eerie. It was like a dark green colour across everything. And everything stopped singing. It was dead quiet. All the birds stopped singing. I'll never forget that. It was like that for, I don't know, a few minutes. And then it started getting bright again. I remember that. Martin watched, the last film he watched was No Time to Die at the View Cinema. $4.99. Is that two film? Is that two James Bonds ago? Huh? Vera, £7.95 here in Waltham Forest Cinema. In Forest Cinema in Walthamstow. $7.95. It's cheaper than it is here. Wow. John Dixon. The last film I saw was A Complete Unknown. Is that the title? Or is it an unknown film that you went to see? I don't know that one. Don't know that one at all. George likes the film Fast and Furious. Did you see that at cinema, George? You go to the cinema. No one goes to the cinema, look. Wow. Luke's going to have his dinner now. Enjoy your dinner, darling. Enjoy your dinner, okay? Stu, if you go to Disney when in California, be prepared to be shocked by the current prices of everything. Oh, don't worry about that. I've already discovered that in Orlando. Yeah, me and my mate went to get an ice cream each. 20 quid, please. It's really dear. Crazy prices in Disney. I note that they've got lots of special offers on at the moment. You know, like, I think you get 4 nights free if you book 2 weeks at the hotels and things like that. But it's so expensive. I don't know. Well, I do know how they're doing it. They're doing it. The Americans are going to Disney because they don't have the extra expense of an 8-hour flight on a plane. That's why. Paul and Lou, the last film I went to see was Pulp Fiction in 1994. Oh, come on. Spend some of that pension, Paul. Dear me. John Dixon, the Bob Dylan movie. I didn't know he had one, to be honest. I think I enjoy a film more at the cinema because you're not distracted by your mobile phone. You know, you've got to keep that in your pocket. That being said, I still see people getting their phones out and checking their messages. What can be that important? I don't know. 24 hours a day, you know. Vera, James Bond's film was the last time I went to the cinema. No Time to Die. Oh, was that the one when what's the name died? Was it? What was the one where Dame Judi Dench died? Oh, I can't remember now. That was Skyfall, wasn't it? Was that Skyfall? Skyfall, la 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la. Anyway, that's films for you. That's films for you. No one saw the solar eclipse. I didn't think you would. Big thing in the paper they were making out of it. George, last time I went to the cinema, I went to see Paddington #3 with my Born to Perform dance school. Oh, Paddington Bear. I love the thing he did with the Queen. Do you remember that? A few Christmases ago now when Her Majesty was there. Jason, last film I watched at the cinema was Under Siege with Steven Seagal. The one on the train. No, I don't remember that. Don't remember that one. I do like to go to the cinema, though. Alrighty. What else have we got here? Let me see what else I'm going to talk about today. Special Easter eggs. Is there someone special in your life? Sadly, not for me. I've spent money on eggs before, right? But there might be someone special you want to do something a little bit special for. Instead of buying your bog standard Cadbury's or Maltesers in a supermarket or Sainsbury's own brand ones, you know, Aldi do their own Easter eggs. Dirt cheap, okay? If you've got a little bit more money to spend, I have done some investigations. I have. Special Easter eggs. Spend a little bit more on someone that you really like. Are you ready? Here we go. I've got 4 for you to choose from. And when I say they're expensive, there's only one here that's really expensive, okay? Only one. But have a little look at these. You might like some of these. There we go. Thorntons are doing an egg, and you can have someone's name iced onto it. Ice, ice, baby. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. Ice, ice, baby. Bum, bum, bum. I think I could be a rapper. Bum, 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 bum. Anyway, back to the eggs. Yep, Thorntons are doing one. Looks nice, doesn't it, eh? Look at that. You can have one of those. 15 quid, which I think is an absolute bargain. I think it's about £3.95 for postage on one of those, okay? So if you want to do something a little bit different, you can get one of these. I've got another few to show you there. Bish Bash says Cadbury's is not the same now. They taste like Hershey's. They definitely taste different, the Cadbury's stuff now. Definitely. I don't know what they've done to it. They swear blind they haven't done anything to the recipe, but they have. I know they have. They have. You're quite right there. Oh, we're just going back to Kevin there. Last film he went to see was the film Speed. Cano, innit? Cano Reeves. I never say his name properly. Stu enjoyed Poor Unfortunate Souls. I'm glad you did, Stuart, there. Glad you did there. All right. Martin, Cadbury have had the royal warrant taken away from them. Oh, I should think so as well. Mucking around with their chocolate like that. It does taste different. It's not what it was, Cadbury's chocolate. I haven't had any for ages, actually, Cadbury's chocolate. Vera is waiting for the Ferrero egg when it hits the shelf. Only £16. So there you go. If you've got any recommendations of eggs, stick them up there. Let's share them all with everyone else. Anyway, that's the Thorntons one. But that's not the only one. You've got quite a selection to choose from here, gang. Here's one here. Spring Flowers milk chocolate Easter egg. Now that looks really nice, doesn't it? How pretty is that? Imagine getting that for Easter. Little bit dearer, that one. Now that we're looking at £42 there for that one. Presumably about £4 for the postage. But it's so pretty, that. £42 for an egg. Would you like that? Martin likes Lind chocolate. Well, actually, up at our Sainsbury's, Martin, we have a Lindt pick and mix. Yes. And you get a little box and you fill it up, right? And you can have like all strawberry creams or all orange creams. They're my favourite. Orange creams. Yes, please. There's like loads of these chocolates. I wonder how many people take one. Cameras everywhere, dear. Wouldn't get away with that in Vera's shop. She's watching. She's watching. Lind. So that's quite a little bit of a more expensive one, that. £42. Would you spend that on someone for Easter? What would you do? Would you like that? Jason, a lot of Cadbury's chocolate is made in Poland. Probably the Polish milk giving it a different taste. Maybe. Bish Bash says rip-off egg prices. Depends what you want, you know. You can go into Aldi and get a very cheap one if you want. You know. I mean, for example, you know, Bish Bash, if you were buying me an egg, would you be buying me a little one? Or a Claridge's one? We'll come to the Claridge's ones in a bit. Vera says we couldn't have a pick and mix in our store. They'd all be eating them all, wouldn't they? Greedy people. Mark Bowles loves eggs. He says love eggs. So assume he loves eggs. Do you, Mark? Number 3, egg number 3. Here we go. What about this? Absolute steal. An absolute steal at just £85. I've got to tell you, I bought one of those from someone last year. It wasn't 85. I'm sure it was 60, which is still a lot of money to spend on an Easter egg. But it's the way it comes. You don't just get an egg in like this piece of plastic. It comes in a lovely box and all that ribbon around it and all that business going on there. Yes, please. Vera, do you want me to send you the website so that you can order me one for Easter? Or are you going to do it as a surprise? Because if it's a surprise, no, I don't know. I wonder what Vera's going to get me this year for Easter. Vera brings me in little gifts. This week I had a whole bag of Frazzles, which incidentally, Vera, have now gone. Thank you, Vera. Oh, dear. Now you can hear it, can't you? Silly old bastard I am. Oops, sorry, I swore. No, you didn't hear me saying any of that. I forgot to put the audio input in there. So there you go. They're the Claridge's milk chocolate Easter eggs. You can have a dark chocolate one or a white chocolate one. Absolute steal at just £85. £85. Look at that, eh? Happy days. Happy days. And got one more to show you. And I haven't put a picture on that one, have I? Hang on, I'll do it for you. What was the other one I had to show you? Oh, God, I can't even remember what it was now. I'll have to quickly look down my list of eggs here. Exciting eggs. 1 minute. Which one is it now? Oh, yeah, we've done that one. Done that one. Oh, I can't find it now, can I? Oh, what a shame. I had one more to show you. Hang on, let me see if it's on the other thing here. Where have I put that? Audrey's eggs. There it's Audrey's eggs. Is it there? Oh, okay. Let's try and find it now. Should be able to find it now. Audrey's eggs. I think these are the best ones out of all of them, to be honest. Audrey's eggs. They're there. Hang on. Let me get this out for you. There you go. Let me pull that out of it. And that's Audrey's eggs. Now, I think they're very reasonably priced, those ones. £29 for the Nougataire one. Do you like nougat? I'm not keen on nougat. Evening, Greg. Welcome to the show, Greg. I really like the Milk English Spring Garden egg. 20 quid. And also the white one there, the white English Spring Garden decorated, 20 quid. I think these are the best ones. Or if you don't want eggs, how about little chocolate bunnies? Chocolate bunnies, £15. That's Audrey's chocolates. So you see, we have got the Claridge's ones there, £85. I don't think you need to spend that on a really nice egg. Look, 20 quid. 20 quid for get something like that. And the best part of it for you is when you round it over and you see someone's face when they go and collect it. When you give it to them, you know, a little bit like giving a child a Christmas present or something like that. Vera says, "Is there a mixed race chocolate?" I don't know, Vera. All I would do is not advise you to eat Hershey's. That's just vile, that stuff. It's so bitter. Bitter. A little bit like myself, bitter. Martin says these prices are no yoke. Bish Bash, he's egging on a bit. Do you think so? Jason, all eggs matter. They certainly do. Martin's come over from TikTok. Very sensible, Martin. Now you can see everything else. It looks better on here, don't you think? And TikTok. Kevin doesn't buy Cadbury's Easter eggs anymore, or any Cadbury's products, because it's got palm oil in it and you can taste it. It's awful. I've got to be honest, I haven't noticed that at all, palm oil. I do know someone, he's got this thing about palm oil and how bad it is. Isn't that the one where they chop down all the forests and the bamboo and the gorillas? Is it gorillas? Gorillas lose their places where they live. Terrible. John Dixon likes the mint chocolate. Not for me, John. No, I'm not keen on that stuff. Mint chocolate. Mint shower gel is a bit strange, isn't it, eh? Starts you tingling away. Evening to Vince joining us. Evening, Vince. Nice to have you along today, sir. Jason doesn't like the white chocolate. Paul Adamson, no chocolate for me. Already lost 6 kilograms. Have you had to do that, Paul? He's got a little bit of a heart issue at the moment, haven't you, Paul? Hey, hope that's going too well. Bish Bash, cream eggs are disgusting. So sweet. Well, I like cream eggs. I must be honest. I do like cream eggs. But they're so small now. I tend to buy boxes of 6. Terrible, isn't it? That's your Easter eggs for you. Okay. Are you a mum? We got any mums here? We got any ladies here today apart from Vera? Are you the only lady here, Vera? Gosh, look at that. I don't think we've got any girls here today. I do sometimes wonder, how comes there's so many straight lads watching this show? I don't get it. Because I know I'm a little bit camp. Little bit. What's all that about, boys? Shouldn't you be watching some football show or something like Martin says they should make an egg made out of crisps. Oh, no. Do you like a crisp sandwich? You know, when I went to afternoon tea with my mate Richard the other week, a couple of weeks ago now, wasn't it? Up at the Grove in Watford. One of the sandwiches contained crisps. We were really surprised at that. It was ever so nice. Ever so nice. Should be for 65 bleaking quid. To be honest, one of my friends, no longer with us, non-Irish Mary from Ireland, she went for a period of bringing me in large bars of chocolate, you know, those ones, which were not expensive at the time, to be honest. But she kept bringing me in. I can polish one of those off in 5 minutes, if not less. Oh, it's just delicious. I was really piling on the pounds then, but I managed to stop eating it completely. And now I don't really have much of an interest in chocolate. My favourite chocolates are Munches, you know, the little biscuit type things with the caramel. And you can get them like in packets in some of the supermarkets. In fact, I think Sainsbury's do them like a little plastic packet, can't you? Full of these little munchy type thing. Not quite the same as Munches. They're like chocolate, caramel and biscuit underneath. Oh, is it Millionaire Shortbread? Similar to that sort of stuff. That's really nice. Although don't go in Starbucks and buy one piece for like 5 quid or something silly like that. Bish Bash has had hedgehog flavoured crisps. I had to use 4 cans of Coke to get rid of the taste. Do you have to watch the needles? The needles. Yeah. Lou's here as well. Evening, Lou. Welcome. Welcome, Lou. Chloe's mum's there. Hello, darling. Chloe's in the States. UK chocolate is so much better than chocolate here in the US. Even our Cadbury's sadly ain't the same. No, our Cadbury's isn't the same anymore, Chloe. Try Galaxy, darling. I think you like Galaxy. Galaxy still tastes quite nice, although I haven't had a bar of that in at least a year now. I'm a bit scared of sort of starting to eat chocolate again in case I become addicted to it. God knows I'm fat enough as it is now. You know. All these shirts are like a large, extra large. These are all extra large, these shirts. That's how it is, isn't it? Right, are you a mum? Do we have any mums here? I've got a question for you. What did you really want for Mother's Day? What did you get for Mother's Day? What did you really want? And also, all of you here, what did you do for Mother's Day? Did you do anything at all? Was it a card in the post? Sent flowers? Or did you go and take someone out? Or just go and visit? What did you do for Mother's Day as a matter of interest? My mother's not here anymore. And on a Mother's Day at the cemetery, it's manic. And the roads, of course, on Mother's Day. So I'm thinking probably this day, one of the days this week, I'm going to go down to the cemetery and do the grave up. I go a few times a year. My mum and dad are both in the same grave there. So I'll probably go down to the garden centre. I do go past. If it takes me on the correct route that I want to go on, it actually takes me past a very big B&Q in New Malden, sort of near New Malden. And I come off the A3, go in there, and I have a very large garden centre at the back, and very reasonably priced as well. I could go to the garden centre down the road, but that's more expensive. It's quite a Long Acres garden centre. It's quite expensive in there. So I'm thinking I'll probably do that someday this week. So that would be my Mother's Day thing. What did you do for Mother's Day? And your mum don't necessarily have to be here. Did you do anything for Mother's Day this year? If so, what? Or if you're a mother, what did you really want for Mother's Day? And I'm guessing if all your family have moved away and you're a mum, I'm guessing what you want more than anything else, more than any present or any meal out or anything like that, what you really want is a visit. I think you probably want a visit from your children, rather than they could turn up at your house with no present, no flowers, no chocolates, nothing like that. The very fact that they've come to see you, I think, is a thing. I do believe this in hospitals as well. You know, if you've got someone in hospital, right, don't be sending them something in the post or sending them round a pizza or something like that. You can, and it's a sad state of affairs that now in a hospital you can order in food because the food in the hospitals is so bad, or a lot of them it is. I've been very lucky I've been. I can't remember the last time I was hospitalised, as in stay. I've been to hospitals, but I've never had to stay in a hospital ever since I had my tonsils out. Since a little boy, I've never had to. I don't think I've had to stay in a hospital. My mate has a lot. He has to go in hospitals a lot. He has to order food. But if you're in hospital, you don't want to be sent cards or flowers. What you want is someone to visit. So if you've got someone in hospital, go and visit them. You've only got to stay there an hour and a half. So much. Oh, I'm so busy, I can't. No, you must go. Go. That's what people want. I think mums want that as well. Bisbash says, sadly, mine died 10 years ago. I used to be a carer for her. Cosmic's there. Good evening, Cosmic. Welcome along, sir. Flowers, chocolates and earrings. Saw three of... Sorry, Cosmic. It's a lady, isn't it? Beg your pardon, darling. Sorry. Cosmic, flowers, chocolates and earrings. Saw 3 of my children, but would have been nice to see another son who lives in Malta. Had a great day. I'm so pleased you did. I don't know what my sister got from her kids this year. Martin went to see his mum. Took her flowers. I think the greatest gift you can give someone is your time. You can never get that back. You're so right, Martin. It's the visit that it is. It's the visit. It's not. I'm sure it's not the gifts. I'm sure it's not. Bish bash. Sunday dinners made by your mum were the best. They certainly were. Anyone else? Come on. What did you do for Mother's Day? Anything? Maybe you went to a grave somewhere, as I will do next week, and do something around that. Vera says it's 8 years since she lost her mum. Takes her 2 hours to get to the cemetery. Where's that then? Where's your mum's cemetery? I have a nan near you, actually, in a cemetery, Leytonstone. Massive Catholic cemetery there. Leytonstone. Yeah, that was my mum's mum there. Yeah. Stephen's there. Good evening, Stephen. Hello to you. Celebrating my girlfriend Emily's birthday today. Happy birthday, Emily. 17 degrees in Lincoln today. Lovely jubbly. Take care, Chris. Thank you, Stephen. Do you want me to sing to you? Is she with us? If she is, I'll sing to her. Let me just get rid of that. Oh, the phone number's gone now, isn't it? Well, phone line's closed. Where are we? Beds. Oh, jingles. Is your girlfriend there? If so, I'll sing to her. Happy birthday. But only if she's there. Hang on. Let's see. Oh, yes, let's see if he answers that. Come on. Oh, don't do that. Come on, just drag over there, will you? There we go. That's there now. Yes, she's here. Camera at the ready. Chris, it's your turn to shine. Shine? I think my light's been dimming for a very long time, to be honest. Oh, we had someone in here was it last week? Someone says, I can't understand why What was the words that he used now? Why your show has never blown up on the internet? Something like that. I kind of understood what he said. It's just how it is. Some people get it, some people don't. I never did, but that's okay because I'm just on here because I'm having a laugh now. I don't worry about numbers. Right, Emily, was it? Here we go. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Emily. Happy birthday to you. There you go, Emily. All right, darling. Happy birthday to you, my love. What are you doing for the birthday, as a matter of interest? What are you doing for her birthday? Vera? Vera's mum is in Green Acres in Harlow. It's a lovely place because she didn't want to be anywhere near her dad. As in her husband's, rather. As in her husband's. I bet there's a few people like that. Possibly some of them in the chat box tonight. I don't know. Maybe. That is such a shame. Yeah, my mum and dad are buried together at Putney Vale Cemetery. It was right next to Wimbledon Common. It's lovely there, Wimbledon Common. All right. What else have we got? Right, nightclubs are being replaced. Nightclubs are being replaced. Story in the Daily Star. When's the last time you went to a nightclub, I wonder? Bet it's a while ago, isn't it? I mentioned before the nightclubs I used to go to, Hammersmith Palais, Cat's Whiskers in Streatham. That was probably my favourite one, the Cat's Whiskers in Streatham in South London. The Empire, Leicester Square, Coco's in Camden. These are all places I used to go to before I started DJing myself. Is that it? I think that's about it. Yeah. I went to places abroad. New York, somewhere. Roxy's nightclub in New York. That was good. And some nightclubs in Ibiza, 1996 or 1999, I think that was. Went to Ibiza. That was great. That was really great. I'd still like to go now, but I feel a bit out of place, You know how some of these youngsters are, who's that dirty old man coming here to pick us girls up? Don't think so, love. Move on. Where's your boyfriend? Do you know what I mean? But these places are closing down left, right and centre. I saw a story that they'll all be closed at some point. Nightclubs. Councils don't want them open, not really. They cost them a fortune to run these damn places. Martin says nightclubs many moons ago, Chris. Loved a good night on Doncaster at Seventh Heaven and Rotters, a couple of places there. Bish Bash was in one in Leeds, bumped into Lemmy out of Motorhead. Did you really? Gosh. Yeah. Well, Jason, last time I went was probably 10 plus years ago. Reflex, where he is. Wow. Yeah. Bish Bash met Mark Armand from Software. Oh, I met him. Not to talk to. He was in a club I was at Trade at Turnmills. Long time ago that was. Yeah, he didn't look very well then. He's still around, isn't he, Mark Armand? Anyway, there's a story in the Star. The young British people are ditching big boozy nights out for ball games. They don't want to get drunk anymore. Gone are the days of the club, as immersive entertainment venues are the new in thing. It says we take a look in it. And the story in the Sun says, if you have a quick scroll on social media, you'll notice a surge of nostalgic videos remembering the good old days. No, it's not grandparents reminiscing about spam and rationing. Instead, it's the 40-somethings desperate to transport themselves back in time to club nights. Rave culture, that's me, and specifically that one night on Brighton Beach with Fatboy Slim back in 2002. Of course, you may remember the big Radio 1 Roadshow. Used to go all over the place. They'd set up, announce it, and crowds of people used to turn up to see Dave Lee Travis on this makeshift stage and the whole thing going out on Radio 1. I think it was 11 o'clock in the morning, was it? Something like that. The Radio 1 Roadshow. And I've come across these videos. You know, people who must have had some sort of cine camera, because there was no mobile phones in those days, filming people all chewing madly, just like I was, all off our heads, waving our arms in the air, topless, all of us topless. Girls danced around in bras and things like that, and just having a good time. We didn't have any mobile phones to spend the entire night trying to get that perfect photograph of us. We just were there for the moment. There were no mobile phones. And I think a lot of that's missing. And it's like, you know, someone was saying to me earlier, will you be taking your mobile phone to... will you be doing any videos in California? And I don't know, really. You know, you need to live for the moment as well. At the end of the day, if I do a video and put it up there, how many people watch it? It's a bit, you know what I mean? Yeah. Live for the moment. Vince is mentioning Maximus. Yeah, I seem to remember that. I seem to remember Maximus, Vince. I'm sure I remember that one. Anyway, it continues. For those not in the older millennial or Gen X age range, and I'm not, I'm further back than that. I'm a boomer, baby boomer, you know, and I like watching these things because I was out. I mean, actually, you know, when I think about it, I was out quite late in my age. I was like 32 before I started going to raves and all that. So that's quite late, isn't it, really? You know, you think you're going out 18. The thing is, it's a bit different, you know, with the gays because we don't meet a woman and make a family and have to look out of them. I mean, that you should be gay yourselves. The party just goes on and on, doesn't it, Vera? Tell them, Vera. The party never stops. Every night we're having a party. If you're straight, get married, get a girl, have babies. It's all over, mate. The party just goes on. Oh, dear. It says people are experiencing serious fear of missing out due to the dwindling club and party scene in the UK. Now, I have also seen afternoon clubs. Again, they're all on TikTok, little videos, people doing afternoon clubs, adverts I've seen on Facebook for these things. And these clubs are kind of 2 p.m. till 8 p.m. or something like that. 8 p.m. closed. And I thought, well, maybe that's something I could do, you know. And I have a look at these things. No, they're like 30-something at these places. So I would probably feel quite old at one of these things. That being said, when I went to the Ministry of Sound event with Royal Albert Hall with our Vera here, I didn't feel old in the slightest. No, not at all. We were right at the front, thank you very much. We're a bit too close to one of those speakers where the girl from Living Joy started screaming away. Oh, our ears. The doorman gave us earplugs in the end. She was screeching something chronic. I don't know if it was her, to be fair, or the way the speakers had been set up, but my God, it was hurting our ears. It says the story, while some are dreaming of pre-mobile phone, messy club and rave days, many others are happily participating in what we are calling the rise of the adult playground. It's predicted that all UK clubs will close their doors by 2030. It's only 5 years away. How sad is that? How sad is that? If you've got children, you know, they are not going to be able to experience the times you've had at club. But hang on a minute, think about that. When you were a child, say you're roughly the same age as me, 55 to 65 or older. When you were a child, your mum and dad probably told you about the wonderful ballrooms that they used to do and do like waltzes and quick steps and all that. And that was their going out. Were you able to do that? Were you? You weren't, were you? You'd have to blooming do a lot of searching to find one. I'm sure there were some of them still around. But you weren't able to do that. So, consequently, the youngsters coming up now, 18 to 25, won't be able to do what we did. Perhaps it's a good thing because most of us are going deaf, or we've got some sort of chemical problem, or some chemical has damaged something inside us. It's probably what's wrong with my kidneys going on there. I mean, imagining that anyway, maybe. But apart from all that getting drunk and getting off your head, the music, going somewhere, banging loud music, so loud you couldn't hear your friends talking standing next to you. They won't experience that. Or they'd have to look hard to find something, as it says here in 2030. They could all be closed. I think it's sad. But it's progression, isn't it? It's progression. They don't want to do it. It says here, going out isn't a completely dead concept. People have just replaced boozy club nights with bouncy balls, quite literally. Venues such as Boom Battle Bar, High Jingo and Covent Garden's newly opened Bat and Ball are a reaction to punters' growing distaste to messy nights out in the eagerness for a bit of fun where alcohol isn't the main motive. And I used to do the same. I'm just going to close down TikTok because it's getting on my nerve. Is anyone still on TikTok? If you are, say something. Otherwise, I'll just close it down. I think it's a bit pointless being on TikTok at the moment, actually. 1 minute. Let me just move something. If there's anyone on TikTok, send me a message quickly. Otherwise, I'll just close it. Oh, okay, because I can't be bothered with it for this particular show. Nice and quick, send us a message. She explained the rise of the... to understand more about why people are choosing ping pong, bingo and karaoke... have you been to a bingo night recently? There's loads of youngsters there. It's not all old dears like Vera. To understand why people are choosing ping pong, bingo and karaoke over getting on the sesh, we spoke with a trend forecaster and co-host of the Let's Get Ugly podcast, Disha Daswani, about the rise of adult playgrounds. She explained the rise of adult playgrounds is driven by a shift in customer preferences towards experience-led socialising. People are looking for more than just food and drink. They want entertainment, engagement and novelty. Years ago, when I was... it was in Central Station, actually, and we used to have drag on Saturday nights, and they just weren't coming in to watch the show. It was a shame, really, because I've thoroughly enjoyed working. This is before the whole RuPaul thing came along. We'd have good drag queens, good people, paying a lot of money for them as well. Much drag queen earns much more than a DJ, much more, like 3 times, yeah. But people just weren't coming in for them, and then I realised that we were already doing we dumped the karaoke, the shows on a Friday and started doing karaoke, and it was an instant success. It was at that point I realised people want to join in. They don't just want to sit there and watch. And I started doing bingo. I'm talking about bingo, live bingo, in venues. And I had a whole stage of... It was a lot of work. I had a whole stage full of prizes. Huge, wherever I was going. Okay? I was doing 4 venues. I was doing this bingo, walking around with a microphone, campus, a Christmas tree, numbers coming up on a screen, and people would buy the bingo books. I think they were £1. I think I charged £1 for a bingo book. Some people will have 2 and 3, and that's fine, And the prizes were all right. They were okay. Nice little prizes. The top prizes were like branded spirits, like a bottle of Smirnoff, bottle of Teachers, television sets. The television set was a luck thing because we were moving over even into the Big It Up with Harry is here from reachonair.com. Evening, Harry. Hello to you, Harry. The telly was a thing of luck because we were all moving over to flat screen tellies, where I used to get a load of the prizes from, which was Asda, okay, electric kettles, toasters, anything that was in there. I'd look, that's a good prize. I had these Lips telephones. Lips. This was when we all had like plug-in telephones. We still have we had mobiles at this point as well, I think. But everyone still had plug-in telephones. And one of the plug-in telephones was made out of lips. It was a pair of lips, and I bought 4 of those. I think 25 quid each or something. They were popular. And the televisions, we were moving to flat screen. So I went in Asda one day. There's all these normal tellies, like the big ones, 24-inch. They were 50 quid. I bought 6. Cool, they went like that. People were winning the bingo and choosing one of those. Happy days. And I loved doing it. But it was hard work. It was hard work doing that. Putting all the prizes out, putting them all back together. I used to have to leave here at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I had to park in King's Cross, and it wasn't as bad as it is now with traffic wardens, but they were still around then, and I'd have to illegally park for about an hour and a half and keep an eye on the car. It wasn't right outside the pub either, because you couldn't park there. It was just up. I can't remember the name of the pub. It was called the Golden Lion in King's Cross. It was not far at all from Central Station. And yeah, I'd have to keep an eye on the car, and now and again you'd see a traffic warning. I'd run out. Sorry, mate. Yeah, okay, mate. And I'd drive off and around and then park back there again. Because I realised people wanted to join in. They want to join in. It's like if I didn't have any chat box on this show or any way of communicating with me, I don't suppose we'd have many people watching at all. People wanted to join in. So that's, I think, why the karaoke does still work at the moment. Does work. Now and again you have a quiet night. What was this weekend? It was all right this weekend, was it? Last night was a bit quiet. So it swapped over again, Last week we had a terrible Friday and a really good Saturday. This week we've had a reasonable Friday. It started off quiet, but we got really good. I think on Friday... Oh, yeah, that's what happened this week. So on Friday, strange night, right? We had a lot of singers, but no one else. Weird. Last night, we had quite a lot of people in there, but only a handful of singers. It's funny how it goes sometimes. We had a lot of singers in there on Friday, but not really anyone else. I think we ended up with 19 singers or something like that. Last night, 13 singers. So I became aware that people wanted to join in, and ever since then I've tried to rack my brains, for other ideas of people to do. Would I do the bingo again? I don't know really. As I say, it was a lot of work sourcing prizes, and of course these days the prizes that I had then will be more expensive. You can't go and buy a kettle now for $9.99 or a toaster, or at least I don't think you can. You don't want crap. You want a decent kettle from Asda. Used to cost me 10 quid. A bottle of spirits, I think, was branded spirits. I think were $12.99. Well, I don't think you're going to pay for that now, are you? All these things. But it was great fun, and it worked. It really worked. We had an absolutely delightful group of deaf people used to come down and play. And this group of deaf people got bigger and bigger. In the end, they had this massive long table in the middle of the bar. There must have been 20 to 25 people sitting around this table. And they loved it because they looked at the screen and they would shout out if they won. Wonderful, wonderful. But yes, going back to this story here, the popularity nowadays of venues offering activities like mini golf, excuse me, I'm going to sneeze, darts, escape rooms, immersive gaming reflects a growing demand for interactive and shareable experiences. Now, I know there's some stuff in London, like the dungeons and all that, where they have live actors coming out and then scaring you. I must admit that sort of thing isn't for me, but people like it. People are prepared to go and do this stuff. The trend is also fueled by the desire for unique, Instagrammable moments and a move away from traditional nightlife settings. Maybe it's because they can't get a decent picture in a dark place. Maybe that's what it is. I'd love to go out to a nightclub again, but you see, I used to like dancing to hard house. You see, at Trade, and I don't know where a gay hard house place isn't. You just go to a straight one; they're both the same, you know. Never had any problem anywhere. I've never had a problem anywhere. It's only these other gays who want to make a point. You know, they want to make a point, don't they? You know, so they get into a bit of trouble now. Big Up with Harry says everyone loves karaoke. Yeah, they still do. It's great. It's great. It says here the pandemic played a role too. It heightens people's appetite for in-person, hands-on activities after long periods of isolation. They just don't want to sit there and watch something. I was just so disappointed with the drag. Never really worked after a certain point in Central Station. You'd be paying 350 quid for an artist in there, and there'd be like 12 people there. So disappointed. Plus, of course, people's minds changed. They became very woke. Back in the 80s, late 80s and all the way through the 90s, when I worked at the Black Cap in Camden, we had drag queens on there and they could say anything. And the whole place would just laugh. No one was out of range of the comedy on some of these wonderful drag queens. And we'd all stand there wetting ourselves when they picked on someone. We'd wet ourselves with laughter. Now they're shouting back, "Oh, you can't say that. Oh, that's wrong." That's and it's like that now. And I don't know how some of them cope, especially the old school. The newer ones, it's very different. The new ones, it's all about image now. It's all about image now. How good can they look, and how well can they do the splits on the stage? And that to me isn't. That's like just new drag queens. Nothing wrong with it. It's just how it's evolved, really. It's text message. Oh, is that Richard? He must be watching the show then. Hang on a minute. What's he saying there? Oh, thank you, Richard. Richard has found a photo of me hosting my bingo. Look at this, eh? Ha ha ha. No, it's not a wig. Thank you, Richard. That's me hosting the bingo. If you look carefully, you can see all the prizes behind me. That's a great night, that was. As I say, I did enjoy doing it. But to do that again, you've got to do it properly, you see. There's no point... don't say anything, Vera. You know where I'm going with this. There's no point in turning up, you know, and just having, like, a bottle of something there to win, or, like, £5 cash. I don't think you're going to attract... That whole stage, I knew what I wanted to do, and I done it. And I got the idea, actually, from a drag queen in Sydney. I went to a bingo night. It was called Bingay in Sydney, hosted by someone called Mitzi McIntosh, who I got to know over the years. And that's exactly what she was doing there. As I said, a whole thing full of prizes and her sitting there with a microphone. She had a little twirly thing taking the balls out like that. I had a electronic thing, so all the numbers come up on the screen. Years later, I bought a proper blower bingo machine. It was only 100 quid. It was an old one out of a social club. It wasn't working quite, so I actually managed to fix that up properly, and the balls would come out. I thought, this is fantastic. I can use this, and then I realised it wouldn't go in the car, so I had to sell it on straight away, immediately, without even using it anywhere, because I couldn't move it around from A to B. And you might say, well, why didn't you take the legs? Do you think I'm going to sit there unscrewing legs and putting them back together again all the time? I don't think so. It says there's a decline in the binge drinking culture, with many youngsters, consumers, prioritising moderation, wellness and social engagement over purely alcohol-fuelled nights. And I have to say, I think that I agree with that. There are very few people now, certainly in Central Station, who are pissed out of their heads by the end of the night. Very few. You just don't see it anymore. When I used to DJ at Belushi's, a straight club, but it was like a fun bar type thing. It's not necessarily a fun bar. When I used to DJ at Belushi's, you know, you get all these people come in and the girls were all dressed up, so beautiful and all that. End of the night, I used to pack my bags and I walked past them, you know, chucking up in the gutter. You know, many of them, not just one. Blokes, you know, being sick round the corner. I haven't seen that for some time now. It just doesn't happen now. Which I suppose is a good thing in a way, but it's no good for the bars, is it? They can't make any money. It says in the past 4 years, the UK has lost 37% of its clubs, and the decline is not slowing anytime soon. The UK will see the end of clubbing era that has defined generations, they reckon, by 2029. So sad. So sad. Really is. But that's progress, isn't it? Things have moved on from, I don't know, the 1800s, sitting there with a little quartet of strings, think you had a good night then, and moving forward, the big band sounds where people go out and see big bands, the whole dance hall scene, dance ballroom scene with people doing waltzes and quick steps and all that business, to little discos, to mega nightclubs. That's where I come in. Mega nightclubs, having the most fantastic time of our lives. And that's all going to go. Like it went for our parent stuff. Sad. Right, let's do some of your messages here. Stephen took his wife out, his girlfriend, to her favourite shop in Lincoln, Home Sense, to spend her present money. I got a lovely nail brush. Got her a lovely nail brush. Thank you, Stephen. Richard, thank you, Richard. Yeah, the Golden Lion one, excellent. Thank you very much. I've got that there, as you know. All right. Vera says, listen, bitch, one more word and you'll not get an Easter egg. Oh, don't be so cruel to me, Vera, from Vera's Choice in the Morning. By the way, I just want to point out to Vera that the Maltesers that someone bought me have still not been opened. Well done, Chris. Well done, Chris. Where are we going now? Paul and Lou, last time they went somewhere, Glastonbury. They have about 30 plus people there. So, as in 30 plus is there. Martin says, I don't think a night out now is nowhere near as safe as it used to be. Vera says the club scene is not the same. Martin says we used to make sure everyone got home. Now they just leave you in the gutter and move to the next pub. And that's their mates, isn't it? Yeah. Vince, Disco in Leicester Square. Was that the actual name of the place? Disco? Don't know that one. Where did I work? I worked somewhere near Leicester Square, wasn't it? Oh, the Long Island iced cheese shop. That's where I worked. That was like a fun bar type thing. That was a great place to work. Long Island, I can't believe how long ago that is now. That's got to be at least 15 years. Yeah. Funny thing is, I've been working in gay clubs for years and years, and then my mate, who worked in a gay club with me, he took over this straight place, the Long Island iced cheese shop. And I just lost Saturday night because we had a bit of a dickhead manager move into the Black Cap, and I didn't like him and he didn't like me. So I lost my Saturday night there only because of that. And so I went looking, and I just met up with Rob. Rob Jones was his name. Always got on with him. And he says, I don't suppose you want to come and work here. I said, oh, I don't think I could. Why not? But it's a straight club. Yeah, but it's the same. Is it? I said, it's been years since I DJ'd. And why don't you try it? So I did try it, and it worked. And it worked really well. And I spent a couple of years there. It was great. Great place to work. The Long Island iced cheese shop. Anyone ever go there? Yeah. I started off working downstairs in the club, but they decided to have music upstairs as well. So he said, well, I'll give you a choice. You can stay down here. You can go up there. What do you want to do? I said, what do you want to do upstairs? He said, I want to do 80s music up there, 70s and 80s music up there, like you used to do at the Black Cap. But I want you to use a microphone like you did there as well. I said, okay, I'll do that. And so I moved upstairs, and it worked really well. Really worked well. Bish Bash remembers dancing under Blackpool Tower. Wow, look at that. Vera says, my mum told me about the all-night bars she used to run in Jamaica, but complained when I came home late. They don't have that anymore, do they? Anything else about those? Let's have a look. Gary Ross just joining us there. Evening, Gary. He was up at his mum's. That's okay, Gary. If he was up at your mum's, that's no excuse required. He was up at his mum's, bought her up a Mother's Day card, so I get her flowers reduced tomorrow. Shocking. They will be reduced tomorrow as well. They had stacks of flowers in Marks today. Blimey. All out the front they were. I'd say at the front of the food section, not outside. They had like great big metal things of flowers, which are never there before. There we are. Let me see. Is that everything about that? There we are. Let me scroll. Vince, the karaoke at the Golden Lion in Sydenham was epic. Yeah, that was all right. That was a weird one, that Vince, actually. So, I was doing this place in Sydenham, the Golden Lion. A very good friend of mine, Gary, was running it. The pub was owned by a bloke called Tony, who died a couple of years ago. May he rest in peace. And he was always very pleasant to me. A lot of people didn't like him. But I think they just didn't get his sense of humour. Very dry sense of humour. I generally get the laughing side of things. Okay? Not everyone, especially some of these blooming Gen Zs. Oh, it's just a waste of time trying to make them laugh. They're just gormless. Absolutely gormless, the way they look at you. And it ticked over. And then suddenly, Vince will tell you this, because he used to come there. Vince is a big fan of America as well, aren't you? Orlando and what have you. He would come every week, and we kind of ticked over. And then suddenly it became busy. Never really understood why. It suddenly got really busy. And it remained busy for a long time, about a year or so. And then all of a sudden, it died. And it was like that. And we just don't know what happened. How can so many people suddenly stop coming? Now, I do know there were 2 other karaoke hosts who used to come in there. And I was told they were going around to people and telling them about their nights. So I think that's what went on there, to be honest. Vince, maybe you know something different. But for some reason it just died and it never recovered from that. And they didn't get rid of me. But in the end, it becomes soul destroying. So I quit. I quit in the end. You know. They were happy to keep it going, but I quit. I get to the point where I feel guilty taking the money anyway. You know. If there's no one coming in, how can they afford to be spending 150 quid on me or whatever it was? Can't remember what it was now, actually. So there we are. Ollie's there. Hello, Ollie. Ollie from Central Station. Ollie and his boy band. Ollie says the karaoke last night at Central was fantastic. Thank you very much, Ollie. A fabulous DJ. Oh, I must come and see him, Ollie. He's a great laugh, Ollie. He's the tall lad who's on stage usually, giving me a bit of lip on the bleeding microphone. Martin remembers going to a nightclub in Blackpool and seeing lasers for the first time. My jaw dropped and I knew I wanted to be a DJ. Oh yes, the best laser was at Turnmills. And it wouldn't be on all night, you know, they'd build up to it. And then all of a sudden, all the others' lights would go out. And this laser would come on, multicoloured. Oh, it was fantastic. Of course, we were all off our heads, you know. I remember those lasers. Funnily enough, Martin, it's a similar thing. I had decided I wanted to be a DJ. It was my sister's engagement party. And I was at that. And then a mobile DJ. Or was it a wedding? No, I think it was a wedding. And a mobile DJ. And this mobile DJ thought, do you know what? I want to do that. And I started getting the stuff together. And I just set up. I think I had 2 completely separate record players. I used to turn up with these 2 things. And I don't think there's any microphone or anything like that. And just play records in this pub for 10 quid. That's how I started. Yeah. Oh dear. Ollie. We were just talking about that yesterday. There's this thing the kids do called ketamine, which is like a horse tranquilizer. I had nothing to do with anything like that, and a lot of them end up in nappies. It destroys the bladder apparently. I know someone, and he was only like 18. I think he was probably younger than that, probably 16 or even 15 when he used to come into the Black Cap. But as the DJ, you knew what was going on in there, and never said a word to anyone. And he used to have a lovely time in there. And he has to wear a nappy now. He's in his 40s now because it's destroyed his bladder. Some of this stuff is terrible, but no one tells him about that, Dreadful. Let's have it. Oh, it's 5 to 8, isn't it? God, look at the time now. Scrolling quickly there. 80s were the best, says Bish Bash Bosh there. Yeah, I think so. Vera says you've got a big bag of Walker's crisps. Yes, thank you very much. Very tasty indeed, my love. Oh, my sister's there. Hello, sis. Look, my sister's there on Facebook there. 9:52. She's checking that I'm going to finish at 8. And don't forget Gan Butler's Empire at 8 o'clock. Go onto YouTube, type in Butler's Empire, and you can find that Emily's there as well. Evening, Emily. Great niece Emily is in the house. Yes, look, Mr. Lonely is here. I am so lonely. I've got nobody to call my own. So sad, Emily. Can't wait for you and George and James to be sitting there with me on the settee, one on top of the other, watching a Harry Potter film. Yes, please. Thank you very much. Hi, Emily. All right. There we go. Okie doke. I think we're out of time there, aren't we, really? Yep. Thanks very much for joining us today, boys and girls. There's a couple of other things I do. Very, very importantly, let's get the advert in. I host Karaoke Gang, and that is on Friday and Saturday nights at Central Station Bar in Wharfdale Road, King's Cross. It's a great night. We do have a lot of fun there. I'm very vile on the microphone to certain people. If you've never been there, don't worry. Don't worry. I promise you will be left alone. But if I know you really well, we'll have an agreement where I can take the mick out of you all the time. Okay? So do come along. It's free entry. Don't cost you anything. You can get food in there as well. They do some nice meals. The chips are really nice as well. Okay, so karaoke every Friday and Saturday night at Central Station Bar, Wharfdale Road in King's Cross. Also, gang, if you're around in the mornings between 9 and 10 o'clock, not on YouTube, okay, if you go to reachonair.com and you can join us for my little radio show. It's 9 till 10 in the morning, just an hour in the morning. The chat is similar to this, but not so much of it. It's mainly dance music. We usually have a little bit of ABBA, but mainly dance music on there. And you can join us by going to reachonair.com. Type that into your phone or your address bar, something like that. Okay? There's a little box. Click listen now and you can listen to the show and join in as well. If you want to watch it on Twitch, there is a chat box. So if you download Twitch completely free of charge, okay? Once you've done that, look for me, Chris Reardon UK. Type that into your search. You'll find that. And wherever on, we do a live stream just like it is now with a slightly different logo in the top corner, like the little sunbeam up there, okay? That's also on that same station. I do Tuesday nights, exactly the same place on Twitch there and on reachonair.com. And if you've got an Amazon device, you can listen there. Okay? Alrighty. Time to go, boys and girls. In 2 minutes' time, if you go to YouTube, type in Butler's Empire and you can watch their latest show there. I'll see you tomorrow morning and another one of these little shows, I think. Yes, indeed. If I survive my COVID injection on Thursday, there'll be another one of these little shows next Sunday at 6 o'clock. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday evening. Thanks for all joining in and sending in the messages. Cheerio now.